Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good evening. And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day, making it positive, making it amazing, making it everything you need it to be and more. We got something very interesting. Oh, man. Oh, boy. I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this. I'm just going to let you guys know. Okay, this is still a tragic story, but the signs show to me something different. I'm just letting you know. And I think it's saying the same thing to all of us right now, especially when you're reading you're reading the title down below. You already know where, yeah, I got opinions. Okay? I got opinions. And we definitely got to talk about this. And yes, another Brian. I see the comments. Yeah, Leo. Like, damn. Another one. Just say DJ Khaled. That's it. DJ Khaled. Another Brian. Another one. This is crazy. Y'all who dating some Brians, you better keep your head on the swivel. I'm just playing. I'm playing. There's a lot of good Brians out there in the world, okay? It just happens to be a very strange situation here where we have another one. Okay, guys? So I told you guys I'd be back on this afternoon. I'm here. We're back at it again. Something completely different. And this one is very, 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 very bad, okay? And clearly tells me something completely different. Now, a lot of people are, of course, thinking one angle, and I don't blame them for going in this angle. Why? Well, you see the comment, or you see the title down below that explains everything, but we are going to get into this thing. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. All right. How you doing, girl? Welcome to the Pascal Show, Elin. Thank you so much for checking it out, being here and being a part of the conversation, learning to fly. I mean, I got nothing else in my arsenal except my honesty and this beating heart in my chest, y'all. Okay, learning to fly. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing and a curse. But we got to talk about this, and I'm just going to be real. Okay? Him guilty. I had to get off. Woo! I feel so much better now. Him guilty, though. Okay? Had to get that off my chest. But we're going to talk about this because hopefully we get closer to justice for this missing mother of two. This is just disturbing. Absolutely disturbing. All the way from Massachusetts, okay? So we got some things to talk about. So do me a favor, hit that like button down below. I see you guys starting to file in. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so very much. Okay, so hit that like button down below, and don't forget to crush that subscribe button, baby. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets to give you the conversation and the stories that you need for the day. We have got to talk about this. This is absolutely nuckin' futz, heartbreaking, disturbing, and kind of dumb all at the same time. So we got to talk about it, okay? So let's get into it, all right? Let's get into this. Okay? Him guilty. That's all I'm going to say right now. But of course, you already know my thoughts by saying those two words. Okay? 3 syllables. All right, but we got to talk about this. We got to go back to the very beginning. Okay? So let's get into it. And yes, Judy, right. This is a very tragic story. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely. Okay? That's what I'm going to say for right now. But him guilty. Okay? So let's get into this. We have a story of, I've been hearing people say Anna, but I think it's Anna Walshe. Okay? She is a real estate agent. She was supposed to go onto a flight out to D.C. because that's where she works. around New Year's Eve time, New Year's Day, actually, and she never got on the plane. Now, the husband, well, the husband's very interesting. His name is Brian, another Brian Walshe. He has now been, I'm just going to jump ahead. We're going to go back to the beginning soon, but he has recently been arrested, and there was a hearing, which we are going to watch a bit of his hearing. He was arrested recently for misleading the police. Recently, they found in his basement red, okay, and remnants of a knife in his basement. So red was on this knife, okay? So he was instantly arrested. Now this guy's a piece of work too, y'all. Okay, he's a real piece of work. Okay, we're going to be talking about him and all of how he's such a piece of work here in just a minute. But let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get back. Let's go to the very, very beginning where it all began, which is when she was recently issued, or when they recently reported her missing, which was only a few days ago, y'all. And again, let me just say this right now. This woman is still missing currently. She is still gone. No one knows where she is right now, except now there's red. You know, I have to use these code words. They found red on a knife in the basement of their home, of Brian and Anna's basement. Now, I'm calling her Anna because of how the spelling of this name, okay? I don't think it's Anna. I think it's Anna, okay? So, let's get into this. So, DC real estate executive from Massachusetts goes missing on New Year's Day. So, let me blow this up so you guys can see this a little bit better. Right? So, the search for a mother of three, and I'm sorry, it's three mothers. I'm sorry for that. I'm standing correct, okay? Standing correct here, okay? But mother of three young children who went missing on New Year's Day while on her way to D.C. is still underway, according to police. District real estate executive Anna Walshe, 39, was last seen by a relative at her home in Massachusetts. I think it's Cohasset, Massachusetts, around 4 a.m. on January 1st. Walshe allegedly planned to catch a flight from Boston Logan International to Washington, D.C. for a work emergency last Sunday. Investigators say her husband was asleep when she left. Police claim it was still unclear whether Walshe took a ride share to the airport, but have determined the mother of three never got on her flight. At this point, we cannot confirm that she got into a rideshare in Cohasset. We have confirmed with the airlines that she did not board a plane this week, according to Chief Quigley. Now, 3 days after she's seen leaving her home with bags in hand, okay? 3 days after she was seen leaving her home with bags in hand, then that's when she was reported missing. Yeah. So 3 days after she was seen leaving home with bags in hand, Walshe was reported missing. This guy took 3 days. Let me say this again, 3 whole days to call 50 and say she's missing. 3. Sorry. To me, huge red flag. Very, very strange. Okay? Huge red flag. Investigators have tried to track Walshe's digital footprint for answers, but so far have found no cell phone or credit card activity. Her friend said, I found it a little funny because Anna is very active on Instagram. Her posts and stories, I didn't see a picture from her trip. The ground search for the missing mother ended Saturday. Police say it is not expected to resume unless detectives develop new information that warrants it. 20 troopers from the MSP, Special Emergency Response Team, a specialized unit trained in search and rescue operations, as well as 3 canine teams, and the state police air wing searched wooded areas near Walshe's home in Massachusetts with negative results for the second straight day, according to Cohasset police. The Metropolitan Police Department also searched for Walshe at her D.C. townhome in Friendship Heights Saturday to no avail. Police describe Walshe as 5'2", 110 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair. She speaks with an Eastern European accent. So it's not Anna, it's Anna. Trust me, it's Anna. Walshe lives in Cohasset with her husband, their three young sons, but she works during the week as a commercial real estate executive in Washington, D.C. So she flies back and forth quite a bit, okay? Now, before we go into all this, into the nitty-gritty, before we dive into this, dive on in, all right? Before we fully go all the way in this, let's keep it real. You hear these certain pieces of information. Some of these things you can automatically assume that maybe, just maybe, she is going to, maybe they got into a fight, she kicked rocks. She needed some time to herself. She travels quite a bit. She has a second home. Okay, they have a town home in Washington, D.C., because that's where her majority of her work is. So she flies back and forth from Cohasset, Massachusetts, to Washington, D.C., right? This is a very busy woman. Lots of mileage. Okay, I'm sure she's got a lot of traveler points. Okay. Now, instantly, some of us will think maybe they got into a fight. She packed up a bag and she just left. Maybe that's not the flight that she got onto. Maybe she went on a different flight. Maybe she rented a car, something like that. But the funny thing is that there's no activity on her credit cards, no activity on her social medias, no activity on her cell phone. So it's quick. It's easy for us to sit there and break all these things down, assume all kinds of different things, troubleshoot, right? Process of elimination, knock out all the major bullets, right? Maybe she left. Maybe she'll return. Maybe she went radio silent for no reason or for a reason, okay? Maybe she just needed a break. And I think that's what law enforcement think as well, okay? As I heard in one of their press conferences, maybe she just needed some time off and just needed to be away. But here's the other thing. Here's the other piece that really makes me wonder, well, this is one selfish human being if she was to do this. Let's not forget this part. She has 3 young sons. Do you think a mother who dotes on her babies would ever leave her children longer than she really has to? Do you really think that this mother's just going to be like, I'm out. You can handle them yourself. Bye. Any loving, doting mother is going to want to come back home as quickly as they can. Also, the other thing I want to point out too is that, so you're telling me that she didn't call you not once? You're telling me that if she just left angry as hell, let's just say they got into a fight, they parted ways, she just needed some time off. You know for a fact she's at least having some sort of dialogue with him. Doesn't matter how angry she is. She's going to let her husband know that she's okay and that she's in some Holiday Inn down the street. Okay, she's staying at a motel. Actually, she seems fancy, so I would think that she's probably at a Ritz. Of course, she would sit there and tell somebody, yo, I am honey, or not honey, just I'm here, leave me alone, bye. Whatever. At least some sort of communication so that there isn't any concern of anything, right? Now, here's the other piece that really drives me nuts about this whole piece here too, okay? And this is the screaming red flag. It is screaming hot, red hot, okay? Where is that? It is right here. 3 days after she's seen leaving her home with bags, allegedly. That's when she was reported missing. So you're angry with your husband. And I don't know the range of ages within the kids, but you know for a fact one of them kids got a cell phone. At least one of them. So maybe you're not talking. Maybe you're mad at daddy. Okay? Maybe you're mad at Papa Walshe. Okay? Maybe you're mad at Brian number 3. We're going to call him Brian number 3. Maybe you're mad at Brian number 3. Okay? You're telling me if they are of age, because I've seen 4-year-olds with phones. Have mercy. But you're telling me that you're not going to reach out to one of the sons, one of the kids, to let them know that you are okay? Now, if it's 2, 4, 6, wow. See, okay, then my theory is wrong. I don't know many 6-year-olds with phones. Do you? Wait a second. We live in very weird times. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if there's a 6-year-old with a phone. I'm going to keep it real, okay? But at the same time, though, that's 2, 4, 6. You're telling me you're not going to be calling every chance you get, anytime you get a break, anytime you get the go home to unwind in Washington, D.C. You're not reaching out to check on your kids, to hear your kids' voices and all that stuff. 2, 4, and 6. You're not reaching out to your kids? You know for a fact that there's a rhythm. You know for a fact there's a rhythm, y'all. Within that family, you're traveling that much. Your work base is in D.C. away from your family. You know for a fact they're calling every night. Or at least a text message. How are the kids? Everything okay? So on and so forth. Clearly, there's some sort of connection. It's your babies, right? So radio silent for 3 days, and that's when hubby Brian, number 3, decides to report her missing after 3 days? Doesn't that just jump out to you as like a? Doesn't that jump out to you? To me, it does. Now, Harsh just said, "What's up, Harsh?" He said, Oh, wait, let me say that one first. 6 may not have a phone, but likely a tablet with a message app, perhaps. Maybe, right? Then the other part, he said, mom spends time away for work, remember. Now, I do remember that, but that's what I'm trying to say. A doting mother, a doting father, doesn't matter. You're contacting that wife or husband. You're contacting your spouse because you're not going one day without talking to him. You're not going one night without talking to him. That's insane to me. So he waits 3 days to say, "Oh yeah, she missing now." That makes no sense to me. Huge red flag in my personal opinion. Huge red flag. All right, huge. All right. Now, I do have a little bit of a breakdown, giving us a little bit of a understanding of what happened here. Okay. Yeah, wait, hold on. Nicole, I'm sorry. I'm reading your comments. Trust me, we're going to get into that. No, Nicole B. Trust me. That's the ridiculous part. This right here is the most ridiculous part. So we're going to get into that in just a second. But so you heard that she allegedly, according to the husband, left. I guess she took a ride share, like an Uber. Okay. She took an Uber, jumped in that Uber, allegedly, and went to the airport to fly to DC. The airport says she never made it. She never took the flight. Okay. Then, on top of that, rideshare, they can't confirm or deny if she took a ride share out there. But still, very strange that you would take 3 doggone days. Okay. 3 full days to report her missing. That is strange to me. Now, okay, let me say this before we move on. I understand that every relationship is different. Some people have some families have different understandings, they have a different way of different rhythms, so on and so forth, a rhythm of conducting family, business, so on and so forth. But this is the mother of 3 children that are still babies, in my personal opinion. 6, 4, and 2, them all babies. So that's weird that she wouldn't be like, hi, honey, how are the kids? Even if I'm mad at him, how are they doing? You got a 2-year-old. Still got dribble on their face. Come on now. So that seems a little bit weird. But let's get into here. Okay? This is a timeline. What happened to Anna Walshe? Okay? So the police have been searching. Let me blow this up so you guys can see this a little bit better. Of course, this is Anna right here. This is her face so that you guys all know it in the nosebleed seats. Okay? Because this is a huge bombshell that happened today. Huge bombshell. And we're going to get into it, but real talk, shout out to law enforcement for doing their due diligence again. They came through. Came through in the clutch, y'all, which is amazing. So, police have been searching since last week, at least as of the reporting of this article, for Anna Walshe, 39-year-old mother of 3 from Massachusetts. She was reported missing on January 4th, 3 days after she had initially kicked rocks, allegedly, by Papa Walshe. Okay? We already know she's an employer in Washington, D.C., and then a husband called to say he hadn't heard from her. Her husband, Brian Walshe, who is on house arrest for a federal fraud case involving the sale of a fake Andy Warhol painting, or sale of fake Andy Warhol paintings, was arraigned Monday. And I'm going to get into that in just a little bit, but I don't want to jump into it. But at least we know a little bit that this is a grimy mother. He's grimy, okay? He's a greasy son of a gun. Greasy. I said it. He's selling fake paintings. Straight up. He was already I'm sorry. He's on house arrest right now for something else. For a federal fraud case. Okay? He grimy. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not going to get into this just yet. This part. We already know that he's already been arrested, okay? But we'll explain he's been arrested again. How do you get arrested twice? I'm sorry. How do you get arrested twice? You already under arrest. And now he's under arrest again. Do you see what I'm saying? Man, that is a grimy. He's grimy. But anyway, let's get into the timeline, because here's a timeline of events leading up to her disappearance. And let me say this too, really quick. I hope to God that they get justice. I hope to God that she's out there alive. I really do. But the signs are telling us no. And I hate to say that. But man, at least let's get justice for this young woman. Okay? Leo girl. Yup. He clearly loves that. Well, he was under house arrest. So, I mean, he can only do so much. But yeah, he just likes feeling locked up, I guess. I don't know. And this is just disgusting. And of course, in a court of law, innocent until proven guilty and all that stuff. But hey, all this that we're seeing right now, he's already grimy. I'm sorry. But let's get into prosecutors in court on Monday. Let me jump into this. Let me get into the timeline. I don't want to get all the stuff, the meat and potatoes. Shout out to Harsh. I don't want to get to the meat and potatoes just quite yet. Okay, meat and potatoes. But let's get into this. All right. Harsh said, true, bruh. If he's innocent, yeah. I'm an alien too. Okay? And my dog concurs. All right? So, Brian said his wife left around 6 a.m. taking an Uber or Lyft to the airport where she was scheduled to fly to D.C. According to court documents, he told the police he and his wife had dinner with a friend at their home on New Year's Eve. The friend stayed from about 8 p.m. till about 1 to 1:30 a.m. on New Year's Day. That night, Brian Walshe said his wife told him she had a work emergency and had to fly back to D.C. in the morning. That morning, he said his wife got ready, kissed him goodbye. Oh, he's so romantic, such a romantic, and told him to go back to sleep before leaving. Go to bed, babe. Mwah. He told police he woke up around 7 a.m. and made breakfast for the couple's 3 boys, ages 2, 4, and 6, and left to run errands around 3 p.m. after a babysitter arrived at the house. He said he left again at 4 p.m. to see his mother, who lives in Swampscott. He said he got lost along the way. Ha! Sorry, I didn't mean to do that out loud. But he said he got lost along the way. So the trip took him 20 to 30 minutes longer than usual. I'll continue. I'm just saying. This part of this paragraph right here, is suspicious. Sus. All right? Let's continue. Within 15 minutes of arriving at his mother's condominium, he said he left to run errands for his mother at Whole Foods and CVS in Swampscott to get groceries and cleaning wipes. You guys already know the punchline here. It's coming. So, he said he went back to his mother's house and returned home to Cohasset around 8 p.m. But police said they weren't able to find any surveillance footage from his Whole Foods and CVS visits. He also said he purchased items there, but no receipts were found. Investigators said they later determined that Anna Walshe had a plane ticket for January 3rd, which she never used. She also never showed up at the airport or her job or the apartment she and her husband own in D.C. It is also determined that no Uber or Lyft picked her up on January 1st. During the course of their investigation, police also said Anna Walsh's cell phone pinged in the area of their home on Cushing Highway in Cohasset on both January 1st and January 2nd after her husband said she had already left. Now here comes the really fun stuff. Now, I'm going to have to go back up to the top just really, really quick. Because you remember, this guy's grimy, okay? He hella grimy, all right? 46-year-old Brian Walshe is on house arrest already for selling some fake Andy Warhol paintings. The audacity of somebody, like the audacity, all right? So he's already on house arrest for a federal fraud case. Already. Now, the question I have, though, is, was he on house arrest during this time as well? Because it doesn't make sense that suddenly he's just on house arrest at the same time, around the same time was the anklet already on his foot, right? Was it already on his body before she went missing? My dog is just really wanting to know. She is desperate to know. Okay? Desperate to know. And I am too. Because I'm curious. Because doesn't that anklet follow you around and stuff? With everything you do? Everything? Doesn't it? Aren't you not allowed to do certain things or go to certain places with this anklet? Now, I'm just saying this out loud because I'm asking for a friend. Really, it's me. But you know what I'm saying. I want to know. But we're continuing with this paragraph. So he got caught trying to swindle people with fake paintings. Okay? Now he was arraigned today, Monday morning, on a charge that he misled investigators and ordered held on $500,000 cash bail. So now you know that piece. He has now been arrested, and he has half $500,000 bail on his body right now. Okay? Now, this is the part that I think is just absolutely stupid. And I don't mean this in any type of way. Please, thank God for stupidity of dirty, dirty animals. Okay? Dirty, dirty, dirty criminals. Okay? This dude is grimy. Let's go. So husband allegedly purchased $450 of cleaning supplies at Home Depot. $450 of cleaning supply. I'm not even in the thick of this paragraph yet. I'm just reading the title, and you tell me who would buy $450 worth of cleaning supplies for their own private domicile. Better yet, why would you buy $450 worth of cleaning supplies for your crib? Unless your house is that massive. That must be a massive house. To me, this is a dead giveaway. Dead ass giveaway. Guilty. Him guilty. Done. This is it. I mean, let's not forget the other evidence that they found, which we're going to get into just a second. But at the same time, $450 worth of cleaning supplies. You telling me that that's just because it's Sunday and he just feels like a good scrub. He just wants to do a deep clean of that bathroom, right? Right? Moving on. On January 2nd, so the day after, she allegedly had jumped onto a plane and flown to Washington, D.C. So again, as part of the conditions of his home confinement, Brian Walshe reported that he took his son to go get chocolate, to go get a chocolate shake at a press juice bar in Norwell. This is the part that gets really fun. I'm sorry. I love when criminals do stupid things. And this is just stupid. But surveillance footage showed on that day, sometime around 4 p.m., he went to Home Depot in Rockland, where he purchased $450 in cleaning supplies. Let's get this. Get this though. This is the dead giveaway, including mops, buckets. Those are kind of like, okay, maybe he just really wants to mop the floors. Okay. But then you go into tarps, drop cloths, and various kinds of tape. What? Who does that? Is that normal? No, it's not. No. I had a second there was like, well, if I'll give him a chance now. Give him a chance. But no. Tarps. I don't even know what a Tyvek is. Let's check out what a Tyvek is. I'm curious now, because now I'm going to learn things about cleaning supplies. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my Lord. Hold on. Oh, my God. This is so bad. It's so evil. This is so evil. This is so evil. This is so evil, y'all. This is so evil. You're telling me he was buying this type of stuff? He was buying this? Grimy. He's grimy. Are you kidding me? You're telling me, well, maybe give him a chance. Maybe she gone. Like, what? Who? Why? Was there an outbreak of asbestos in his house? I'm just going to let that sink in. All the way down to the plums. Just look at this. He bought one of them. I was wondering what a Tyvek is. He bought a hazmat suit. Straight up Dexter style. Who does that? Was there an outbreak in his crib? We're going to continue. See, this is the stupidity. Like he didn't think through this. This is sad. Again. Justice for Anna. Real talk. On some real stuff. I mean, we could laugh at the stupidity of his criminality, of his criminal mind, but at the same time, this is disturbing. Let's continue. And I'm wondering, did he still take his son out? Or is that just a full-on lie? I guess that's a full-on lie. Because imagine if he was buying all this stuff in front of his own kid, which is absolutely disturbing. Which I have other questions on top of that with the kids, and then we're going to get into it. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself like I always do. My mind goes like that, and I'm like, but what about that and this and this and this? So forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. This is just disgusting. Disgusting. A hazmat suit? Okay. He was seen wearing a black surgical mask, blue surgical gloves, and made a cash purchase. This trip was allegedly in violation of his probation conditions. Why do you think it was a violation? What probation conditions are you talking about? Yeah, he was wearing an anklet. Remember that? My sweet little babies. Remember that? He's wearing an anklet and he's under house arrest because he's been selling fake crayon drawings, for crying out loud. Yeah. Yeah. Data from his cell phone. See, stupid is as stupid does. Have mercy. Data from his cell phone also showed that it traveled to the areas of Brockton and Abingdon during the week beginning January 1st. No further details on those trips were included in court documents. I need everybody to say in all caps in the group chat, in the family chat, him guilty. That's it. That's all you need to say. Him guilty. This alone is, and we haven't even gotten to even more evidence that was allegedly found in the basement of his crib and found in the basement of his house that also housed 3 young boys, 6, 4, and 2. Let's not forget that. We haven't even gotten to that part. But this alone, $450 worth of cleaning supplies. And not even, forget the mop and the buckets. Hazmat suits, gloves, drop cloths, various kinds of tape. Are you kidding me? I really hope there is some justice for this young woman. This is bad. You waited 3 days to holler. You waited 3 days to say, hey, oh, well, I haven't talked to my wife. Well, she's missing. 3 whole days to do that. Then on top of that, in the middle of those 3 days, while you're being on house arrest because you committed a confederal fraud, a federal, because you committed a federal crime, you're on house arrest for crayon paintings. You go out to a Home Depot outside of the area in which you can be wearing your bloody anklet, and you spend $450. They catch you on cam spending cold hard cash, handing it to a Home Depot employee, handing them cash, wearing blue surgical gloves and a black surgical mask. Why? This guy's guilty, and we haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes. We haven't even gotten to it. The big smoking gun. We haven't got to it yet. Have mercy. We're going to get to it, though. We're going to get to it. Do me a favor, guys. This is just dumb. Okay? Yes. Sue's Q? I think that's, hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm sorry. But yes, dumb. Dumb. You know what I mean? Dumb. Okay? Oh, my God. Okay. So please do me a favor, please, guys. That would really mean a lot. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Make it scream out your name. Send it past, let's see here. Let's get it past 500 likes. That would really mean a lot. And if you haven't done it yet, please hit that subscribe button. All right? Crush it. That would really mean so much to me. All right? Don't forget to do that. Because, we cover a lot of things on this channel. Everything from pop culture, true crime, controversy, celebrity interviews, you name it, we talk about it right here. So I really would appreciate it. Okay? So support. But he paid in his gloves. That's in surgical glove. I'm not kidding. Where did that say? Where did it say that? One more time. He was wearing a black surgical. Let me show that to you. Show. He was wearing a black surgical mask, blue surgical gloves, and made a cash purchase. He was handing somebody cash wearing blue surgical gloves. Let me tell you something, guys. If anybody ever shows up to your workplace, if you work in a bar, restaurant, Home Depot, a retail joint, and they are paying you in cash, and while they are handing you the cash, you notice, I mean, the mask, normal, because I'm still seeing people out everywhere wearing masks, and that's fine. That's your prerogative, okay? But when you are walking around and you are literally handing somebody cold hard cash and you have gloves on, not just, ooh, it's cold, it's brisk outside. You are literally wearing surgical gloves out in these wilderness streets. You might want to give them an inquisitive look, because that's weird. That's hella weird, y'all. Okay? You might want to start looking at them funny, because who does that? Okay? Now, I understand there's some people who have OCD and are hypochondriacs and stuff like that. I get it. No disrespect to them. But if you see somebody out here doing this, that's a bit strange. Just saying. Okay? Moving on. So, let's continue here. There's a little bit more here. And this is on the when she was first reported missing. So, Cohasset police and Washington, D.C. police said that they were first notified that Anna was missing on January 4th. Again, 3 days, by her employees in Washington, D.C., who said she had not shown up for work that day. Now, Brian Walsh's lawyers said in court Monday, which we will be checking out the hearing. We are going to be playing that in just a little bit, so sit tight. It's very interesting. They said in court that her client is the one who called his wife's employer to tell them that he hadn't heard from her, which led them to call the police. This is what the lawyer said, which was a result of Brian Walshe contacting her employer to say, "I haven't heard from my wife." Cohasset police arrived at the home around 6:30 p.m., where they interviewed Brian Walshe multiple times. Of course they did. But and one thing I find very, very interesting is the lawyer, and I understand they got to do their job. Okay, they're doing their job. The defense is doing their job. But at the same time, just because he calls and says, "I don't know where my wife is," does not automatically mean that he's in the clear. He clearly did that to cover his own booty. Period. Point blank. That's it. He didn't do this just to find his wife. He knows exactly where his wife is. Come on. Come on, y'all. He knows exactly where his wife is. So, Friday, police announced the missing person search. Okay. Former Walshe home. What? Catches on fire. What? That ain't suspicious, y'all. You read the title. I just said it. I know I kind of paused. But this is a piece of information I didn't know yet right here. So former Walshe house catches fire? He did it. Him guilty. Him guilty. I'm done. That's the show, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. No, I'm playing. But seriously, him guilty. Let's go. Around 2 p.m. on January 6th. This guy's dumb. Okay, Cohasset police issues a press release, seeking the public's assistance in locating Anna Walshe. A massive search, including, we already talked about this, whole bunch of people got involved trying to find this woman. While police searched for Anna Walshe on Friday, there was a fire at a home in Cohasset that I guess she and her husband owned until last year. The home was sold in March. State police and local investigators determined the cause of fire was accidental. The current occupants escaped safely. What are the chances of him actually taking her remains and putting it in that fire? I'm just saying. If you really think about it, maybe this is the first place they made a house a home, right? So there's sentimental value to this home before they moved on to maybe a bigger house, or maybe they downsized. I don't know. But if you really think about it, this house was on fire, was caught on fire. Obviously, the family that lived in the house got out and everyone was safe. But what are the chances of him using that opportunity to try to destroy the evidence? I'm just throwing out that question. I could be completely wrong, but it is strange that the house that they formerly owned got caught on fire. That is strange. That is strange. Saturday, January 7th, air ground search continues near Walshe home. The search for Anna resumed. Man, I can't talk. Resumed on January 7th. A specialized state police unit trained in search and rescue operations, 3 K9 teams, and the state police air wing searched wooded areas near the Walshe's home Saturday. State police divers searched a small stream and a pool, but couldn't find anything. Later that day, state and Cohasset police said their ground search for Anna had concluded. Sunday, search warrant, husband arrested. So, investigators executed a search warrant at the Walshe home on Cushing Highway in Cohasset on January 8th, where they said they found red in the basement and a damaged knife, which also contained red. Later that day, state and Cohasset police said they took Brian Walshe into custody after concluding that they had probable cause to believe he had misled investigators into the search for his missing wife. Now let's keep it real. Duh. You find blood, you find a knife or damaged knife. In other words, he was trying to destroy it. That's how I took it. He was trying to destroy this knife, trying to get rid of it, so on and so forth, and trying as much as he could to get rid of as much evidence as he could. Now, they said that they found blood in the basement, red in the basement, and this knife. Remember the $450 worth of cleaning supplies? Where did that go? Where's that at? Is that all in the closet right now? In the some underneath the sink right now? All of it? That's the question I have. Where did it all go? Where did that stuff go? Because it makes no sense at all whatsoever. Okay? Now, we're going to go into that here in just a minute, as he has been arrested. Now he's been arraigned, which we are going to be taking a look into that in a second. But this is a piece of work, okay? This is an absolute piece of work. He was already a grimy son of a gun, already grimy. We already been known that he was grimy to begin with. Let's keep it real, okay? And it does make you wonder what happened between them that caused her to go missing. And that's heartbreaking. Because to me, this tells me something sinister definitely went down. Something most definitely sinister, heartbreaking went down. And remember, we got to go back into that here really quick. I just want to throw out some pointers here. Here's a part that I found very interesting too, which could tell you possibly where she could be. So she got up, she left, he made breakfast for the three boys and left to run errands after the babysitter arrived at the house, right? He said he left again at 4 p.m. to see his mother, who lives in Swampscott. So what happened on his drive that was which he apparently took a detour? Because remember, he said he got lost along the way. Now, I'm sorry, but I could probably drive to my mother's house blindfolded right now. I could drive to my mother's house blindfolded. And I know 3 different ways to get to my mother's house, like the back of my hand right now. Blindfolded. So you're telling me that you got lost along the way to your mama's house, which took him 20 to 30 minutes longer than usual. So what were you doing during that 20, 30 minutes? En route? Is this en route to Swampscott? Or is this en route back from Swampscott? So somewhere within this time is probably where he got rid of some things. You know, all that drop cloths and various types of tape, etc. $450 worth of this stuff. I'm just saying. I have a feeling on his way to his mama's house, you're going to find some things. Clearly, this is not somebody who's thought this whole thing out. This obviously was a unthinkable crime of passion. But he didn't think through this at all. At all. Then on top of that, he said he went to go and get ice cream with his son, which apparently was never true. That never happened. So I keep wondering, what was he doing? How did he do all this stuff in the basement, clean it up without his kids wondering what the heck? Unless he never, you know what I'm saying? Unless he never slept. It's just crazy that this guy did what he did. Now, I want to play a little bit of the initial video of where the police were talking about, of course, trying to find her and all that. And I forgot to show you guys this too. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me get this real quick. I just wanted to show you guys this too. This is him actually getting arrested too. And this is just odd. To me, this is just odd. He's just happy to be here. I don't know why he's smiling, to be honest. It's very creepy to me. But this is Brian. This is Brian Walshe. Brian number 3. Some people are just dumb. And you never know. I mean, I don't know what happened that night. They had dinner allegedly with a friend, so on and so forth. Maybe there was just too much liquor involved. It is New Year's Eve. You're kicking it. You never know. Maybe she wanted a divorce. Maybe she wanted to start off the new year clean. Maybe. He was under house arrest for doing some dumbass things. So maybe. Because this is disturbing. AJ Glam just said, I hear they owed a lot of money back, and just before her disappearance, there was a house fire. Yeah. So that's the thing I'm wondering as well. Like, how did this all go down the way it did? You see what I'm saying? And then why did it go down the way that it did? Then also the house being caught on fire, they don't own the house anymore that I know of. That actual house that was sold already, they moved on to another house. So why was that house burned? Unless he burned the house. God, I mean, we're all hopeful that she's still alive somewhere, right? But what if he was using that fire to get rid of some evidence? What if there are items everywhere, if you get what I'm saying? Some en route to his mother's house where he got a little lost on the way, right? Maybe he got rid of some of those items. Then on top of it, let's not forget the house being on fire. That's a perfect opportunity to throw some items in there to never be seen ever again. Incinerate those things. And yeah, I'm still wondering, I'm going to blow this up. Why is he smiling? Why is he smiling? Damn right, nerd. Why is he smiling? Maybe he's smiling because it's finally relief. Maybe finally. Or did one of the cops make a funny joke? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I think? I think that's what it is. I think one of the cops made a really corny dad joke, and he's like, oh, I got to use that on my kids. And then they took a picture of him as he's laughing at that cheesy dad joke. It's got to be that. I don't know. It's just wild. Carol Creepazoid indeed. Oh. Okay, so Purple Glitter Tears. she is still her name is still on the other house? On the other house, not the house that he's walking out of, all like, Guy Smiley up in this B. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the other house that burned, that people still lived in. From what it said in this report, they just sold it. So Purple Glitter Tears, let me know. He wants the insurance money. He owes $50,000 ASAP. Well, yeah. That's weird, yo. SMJ, this is the photo of him actually getting arrested yesterday, if I'm correct. It was either yesterday or first thing. Yeah, no, yesterday, because he was arraigned this morning. Smiling. Man, there's a thin line, y'all. There's a real thin line. It's disturbing. It's very, very disturbing. Lateef said it's about notoriety with people like this. Sickos like this want their crimes credited to themselves. I don't know if it really is something where I don't know. Like, this is a very strange and disturbing individual for sure for what he did. Maybe he just snapped. Maybe he just snapped. That could be it too. He may have just snapped. Or this literally could be him having a moment of relief. It is info@thepascalshow.com. Send it to me, please. Purple Glitter Tears. Let me see that. I would love to see that before the show's end. That would really be helpful, because that's news to me. I thought that the house that burned was not under anybody's name. It was already under that family's name. Now, if that was owned by them, which is a possibility too, they could have been renting it out, right? I mean, she is in real estate, so it would make sense for her to own some properties. And clearly, she was a successful woman. Let's be real. She clearly was successful. She's flying back and forth from Cohasset, Massachusetts, down to D.C. to work in D.C. So clearly, she's successful. Whoops. AJ Glam, do you think this is a con of her and him because they own money? Or they owe money? Then where's she at? If this is just some ploy to pay off debts and all that stuff, then where's she at? It'd be wild if they posed all this, they created all this, made some huge deal so that, I don't know, to get her life insurance or something of that sort, to burn down that house, to get some money off the house, so on and so forth. That'd be really crazy. But where's she at? If that's the case, then where's she at? Then why is there blood in the basement? Why is there a damaged knife with blood on that as well? Like, to me, this isn't a Lifetime movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see something like that on Lifetime, but in real life, she's just out here hiding? That'd be messed up. Then she's going to see time behind bars too. She's definitely going to see time behind bars. No, I think this is real. I think she's gone. Just like Tyler said, yeah, this is real. I think this is real. But it is very weird. Again, she left. Allegedly, according to this man here, she left. But she never got on the plane. They don't have any proof that she got into a Lyft or an Uber. She just disappeared. She just vanished. She's nowhere to be found. He goes off on some weird driving thing. First, he goes off on some trip to a Home Depot, spends $450 worth of stuff, including hazmat suits, and the sort. Then he has a trip to his mama's, which was he got lost along the way to his mother's, where he added another 20 to 30 minutes to or from where he was, from his home. Like I said, to me, this screams unthinkable crime. Foul play is afoot on this one. I don't think, unfortunately, I hope she is still alive. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think she's around here, y'all. CJS just asked, is he an alcoholic? I don't know. You never know. Being under house arrest, you never know. All that time, allegedly, to sit around, but you got 3 kids. 3 growing, bouncing boys. You're going to tell me you're going to be acting a fool under house arrest in front of your kids like that? But then again, I've heard wilder and more disturbing and sad stories. I have. I definitely have. Just saying because the house fire. Yeah. But then it's like, okay, they're staging her demise. It just doesn't make sense. Why? Now he's getting arrested, and now he's getting arraigned, which we are going to pull up right now so that you guys can see the arraignment. It's just crazy. Like all this, and he just so he can get I don't know, man. I don't know. I think this was him trying to find every way he can to not get caught. He drove out away. He probably drove to a Home Depot that no one knows his name. Okay, he went far. He went far enough outside of the jurisdiction that he's allowed to be in with this anklet on, because he's on house arrest, by the way, for being a fraud. Okay, for being a con already. But he drives all the way out there, spends cash, covers his face, wears surgical gloves so that there's no fingerprints on his money, so that in hopes that he wasn't going to get recognized by the security cams. And he got caught on those security cams buying $400 worth of stuff. Clearly, he wasn't trying to get caught. So let's continue. Let's take a look at this. This is the arraignment. So, wait a second. Hoblone. Wouldn't BK have trophies in his house? What if the monster did a snuff video for? Yeah. That's on something else. A whole other story. Whole other Brian. That's Brian number 2. By the way, we're talking about Brian number 3, but yes, there are some questions about that, and we will be talking about BK on another show for sure. Just wanted to take a little bit of a break, talk about other things that are going on in the world. This is also a crazy, wild story that has just took off this morning. So I just wanted to hop on and show you guys this information. Let's take a look at this one, okay?
This is as a knife and blood have been found in the basement of a missing Massachusetts woman's home. Prosecutors revealed just a day after her husband was arrested for misleading investigators, according to the Norfolk District Attorney's Office there in Massachusetts. Let's listen right here on Live Now from Fox.
And is charged under the intimidation, that being misleading the police in the course of an investigation. The investigation was into the missing person of Anna Walshe. Anna is the wife of this defendant. She's 37 years old. They have 3 children, 2, 4, and 6. Anna Walshe was last seen on New Year's Day about between 4 and 6 a.m. in the morning. The defendant indicated that she left the house to go, she works in Washington, D.C. The defendant indicated in the subsequent interview that she left the house around 6 a.m., taking an Uber or Lyft to go to the airport. where she was going to go to work in DC. That was the last time she was seen. In the course of the investigation, police were notified around January 4th by her employees in Washington, D.C., that she had not shown up for work on January 4th. That was the first time that she was notified that she was missing. Up until this point, the defendant had not notified anyone that she was missing. In the investigation, was determined that she actually had a plane ticket for January 3rd, which she did not use, and did not show up at the airport, nor her DC job or her apartment in DC. It was indicated that the defendant, police checked during the course of this investigation. There was not a Uber or any kind of Lyft that had picked her up on January 1st. In fact, in the course of the investigation, it was determined that her cell phone pinged in the area of the house, which is located on Chief Justice Cushing Way, that her phone pinged on the 1st and the 2nd, which is after the defendant had said she had left. Additionally, the defendant right now was on house arrest, pending sentencing in federal court. Part of that probation and condition, he was to report his whereabouts if he was to leave the house. He indicated as part of the investigation, when police spoke with him, that on January 1st, he went to his mother's house. However, it took him a lot longer because he got lost going to his mother's house in Swampscott. He also subtly indicated and stated to the police that he went to Whole Foods and CVS. Police subsequently did surveillance and checked. There was no surveillance or indication that he went to Whole Foods nor CVS. He indicated he purchased some items. There's no receipts for him having purchased that.
All the stuff that I've said in these other reports, in these articles that I've read to you guys, she's basically repeating the same things. He had no receipts, zero. Oh, I went to CVS and this, that, and the third. I did all these things from my mama. Where is the stuff? This was not some pre-planned thing where they're trying to swindle people thinking that she's passed on so that they can get the life insurance money or whatever. Nah. I think something bad happened. They got into a fight. Things got out of hand and he took her life. And now he's hiding, or he discarded her body in various places. In various places. The other thing is, though, too, before we continue with this, think about this, because I have to jump in because fair use and all that, guys, okay? But think about this, too. You know that smiling photo I just showed you? What if doing what he did drove him to insanity? No one ever really thinks they're going to do something like that until they actually do it, right? Not everybody is just plotting out here. Not everybody's out here plotting, okay? Sometimes it is a crime of passion. Some of them are not a Brian Koberger situation. Some of them are just a fight that escalates into something more sinister and it becomes violent, right? Like an argument that goes to a very devastating ultimate end, right? What if this whole thing happened? But now he has to get, oh gosh, okay, T-dubs. But now he has to get rid of the woman that he loves. He has to get rid of her. Because of course he doesn't want to jail, prison, never seeing his boys again, never being free again. Imagine all those things, right? But the thing is he's going, how am I going to get rid of, you know? Because you never really think you're going to do something like this, and then you do it. And then if you got to get rid of something and you don't know how you're going to get rid of it, and this isn't just like, I hate to say this is a human. This is someone that you love. Now, I don't know how he is as a human being. I mean, yes, he's a con artist, but is he someone who does something like this on the regular? The fact that if he really used equipment to separate, for example, that would drive any person mad. That would drive any person mad. So maybe he was mad. Think about it. None of us want to do something like this ever, right? Never, none of us ever think we'd ever find ourselves in this kind of situation ever. Ever. Okay? But imagine for just 1 second, you are sound body and mind. Something devastating happens and you go, oh my God. And now you need to cover your own ass. What are you going to do? And then the things that you have to do, oh my Lord, I got to do what? The things I see in mafia movies, the things I see in all these crazy movies, I got to do that? Oh my God. And that could probably make a mind snap. Once you're already in deep into that world of darkness and depression. I hate to throw that out there, but just think about it for a second. Just think about it. It's disturbing. It's wrong. And hey, let's get justice for her, right? Because maybe nothing happened, but at the same time, a fire happened at the old home. That's very suspicious stuff, y'all. Very suspicious stuff. This is a desperate man that's done something extremely sinister, and he's trying to cover his tracks. Jim Halpert just said, maybe he's just scared of the vid. But man, we've had some weird times in the past 2 years, y'all. We've had some weird times. But just think about it for a second. Almost 3 years. Wow. Almost 3 years, y'all. Ain't it? Yeah, it's almost 3 years. Wow. Anyway, mind blown. But anyway, just think about it for a second. It's very messed up. And it would make any normal person's mind snap. It would. But let's continue.
He then returned home. Surveillance was checked by several police during this time frame. These statements caused a lot of delay as part of the investigation, as police now were focusing on the North Shore. He further indicated that on January 2nd, as he was supposed to report in, that the only time he left is that he went to take his son for some ice cream. Surveillance checked during the investigation indicated that defendant, in fact, on January 2nd, sometime after 4 o'clock, went to the Home Depot, which is in Auckland. He's on surveillance at that time, purchasing about $450 worth of cleaning supplies. That would include mops, bucket, tops, T-Vex, drop cloths, as well as various kinds of tape. He's on surveillance at that time on January 2nd, even though he said he never left the house. Police obtained a search warrant and actually searched the house with crime scene services. During that time, they found blood in the basement. Blood was found in the basement area, as well as a knife, which also contained some blood.
Could you repeat that last time, Mr.?
Yes, in the basement, crime scene services recovered and found blood in the basement area, in a section of the basement. There was also a knife that was found. On the knife, there was also blood, and part of the knife was damaged. Your Honor, these various statements caused a delay in the investigation, to the point that during the time frame when he didn't report his wife and gave various statements, that allowed him time to either clean up evidence, dispose of evidence, in causing a delay. As of this time, Anna Walshe has not been found. So because of that, the Commonwealth is asking $500,000 cash bail. At this time, these are the charges.
This dude shouldn't even get bail. That's what I think. This dude shouldn't even be getting bail, in my personal opinion. I know that they don't have like everything yet, but they do still have enough to pin. They're pinning something on him right now, right? 500,000. To me, that's not enough. I think he's still a dangerous human being. I think that he should stay behind bars. Does he have the money? I don't know, but at the same time, he should stay behind bars. That's what I think. Okay, he was trying to swindle the police. He was trying to finesse them, etc. Trying to maneuver around. He clearly was trying to cover his tracks since day one, since the moment it happened. He took 3 days not to do anything. He took 3 days not to report this woman missing. He took 3 days not to report the mother of his children missing, so that he can go and do whatever he needed to do. Then when he talked to the police, he lied. Also committed arson at his old house, allegedly. They haven't said that it's him, but the connection's way too much of a coincidence. And when it comes to these certain crimes, there are no such thing as coincidences. Real talk. There are none. No such thing. So you're telling me the house that you used to live in down the street or, around the way catches fire around the same time your wife goes missing? That's not a coincidence. All right. That is someone who's trying to cover their own butt. Real talk. I'm going to continue.
At the place on January.
This time, Anna Walshe has not been found. So because of that, the Commonwealth is asking $500,000 cash bail. At this time, these are the charges.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Walsh's wife has been missing since January 1st, and it is true that her employer contacted the police on January 4th. However, that was as a result of Mr. Walshe, Brian Walshe, contacting the employer to say, I haven't heard from my wife. The employer suggested that their security team, who was former law enforcement officer, contact both the Cohasset police and the DC Metro police, which he did. Mr. Walshe has given several interviews. We have consented to searches of his home. We have consented to searches of his property. We have consented to searches of his cell phone. I negotiated with Assistant District Attorney, to promote you, Lynn Beeland, on the terms of that to protect attorney-client. He has been incredibly cooperative. The charges are not anything relating, he's not charged with murder. There. He's charged with misleading investigators by not saying, as I understand it, he went to Home Depot in Rockland. He did say he went to Press in Norwell, and as Your Honor knows, Rockland, Home Depot was right next to Norwell. If in fact he was there, it was next in the town next to him. With respect to the other alleged omission, is that he was in Brockton and Abington. They don't have him stopping anywhere in those areas, as far as the police report says. He did say that he took his son out twice on the 2nd. He is on home confinement. He has a bracelet on him. A violation has been noticed of him. So if he leaves here, there's a federal detainer. He will be taken to federal court. And I would suggest that on the bail violations in federal court, the appropriate place to decide those conditions of release is in the federal court. I would ask for low bail or no bail, and to let the federal courts decide this. He's not going anywhere. He hasn't gone anywhere since January 1st. He's been in the house. That's true. He's been in the house with police almost 12 hours a day. I've been at the house with him, with police, for at least 8 hours a day. Well, not yesterday, but yesterday the police were at his house and he was at my home. But Friday and Saturday, I was at his house for at least 8 hours with police officers present. So it's not that he's been there changing evidence or somehow impeding the investigation. The charges are he neglected to mention that he went to Abington and Brockton, and then he neglected to mention that he was at a Home Depot. I suggest on those charges, for a regular person, as everybody has to be treated, that would be a no bail situation. With respect to violation of conditions of his federal bail, that is most appropriately dealt with in the federal court. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Bail is set at $500,000 cash, $5 million surety. Can we get a 30-day date, Ms. Minor, please?
What date would you like?
You tell me any date he would be, we would do this by teleconference from the House of Correction.
Park the car in Harvard Yard. Yeah. So Massachusetts, Boston. So yeah. He's not gonna go out without bail. So he's been issued $500,000 bail, period. Because clearly this man was up to no good. And what's interesting is that you have a woman that seemed to be, well, while he was under house arrest, seems like the wife was really holding it down during that time. I don't know if that was eating away at his ego or if that made him feel some type of way or something of that sort. But still, no matter what, you have somebody who has allegedly, obviously, all roads, all breadcrumbs, everything is telling me something else. It's telling me that, yeah, he did a very, very bad thing. And maybe he didn't know he was going to do that night. This could have been one big old mistake, an accident, anger. Never underestimate the power of anger, guys. Never underestimate that. The power of anger and liquor. Okay? You had two people who brought three, I'm sure, beautiful children into this world. Maybe get into some sort of fight, a misunderstanding, an argument, whatever. And the unthinkable happens. It's very sad. I hate to say it like this, okay? I hate to say it like this. But the chances of her being found alive are slim to none, in my personal opinion. The way everything's laying out, the way that there's evidence in the basement, etc., it tells me something else. Okay? Angel Dunmoyer said, it reminds me of Jennifer Dulos' case. Yeah. I mean, like I said, this whole thing is just devastating and wild. Because you just, oh man. It's so sad to think that people who sit there and say, I do, would resort to something like this. And he could have been down in his luck, bad times. He got caught. He's under house arrest already for a federal crime because he is now being known as a con artist, literally, because he sold fake Andy Warhol paintings. Under house arrest, he was probably down on his luck. You got his wife out here flying back and forth from DC to Cohasset, Massachusetts, trying to hold it down. And maybe there was some misunderstanding, or maybe she had enough and she wanted out. And maybe she just wanted out. He felt emasculated, and this fight went off. It's disturbing. Talvish, thank you so much for the 2. I hope the children didn't see their mom like this. I hope so too. You're right on that. I really, really hope it's not that case. I don't think any parent or any child should see parents in any ugly positions like this at all. obviously. And that's the thing. It's like, how did he do this? How was he able to get away with this while having 3 kids in the house? And then, you got to remember there was a babysitter coming in and out of that house too. So how was he able to finesse her as well? She never went down to the basement, not never. Even when he went off to go to Home Depot or run these errands, she never needed to go get something from the basement. The kids never needed to run downstairs and get a toy or something like that. It's just very interesting. Charlie Miller, thank you so much for the 5. Each state is different when it comes to calling the police and making known so-and-so is missing. That is true, but at the same time, in my personal opinion, I know that I don't know if it's entirely true anymore. You got to wait 24 hours or something like that. I don't know how true that is anymore. I think some states are not the same, that don't have the same policy of the 24-hour thing. So that may not be true anymore in some states. But the fact that he waited 3 days, though, Charlie, three of them days, it's weird. Very weird to me, y'all. Extremely, extremely weird. Okay? Have mercy. Thank you, Pierrette. Yep. The work reported her missing before her husband. And then a day or two later, that's when he called and said, "Oh, yeah, my wife's gone. Oh, my God. Yeah." Lateef, precisely. Guilty. Sus. That is sus as hard. Sus as hell. Hard as hell. Okay? Sus as hell. Sorry. And I mean, obviously, like I said before, innocent till proven guilty, all of that stuff, la, 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 la. But to me, this tells me something different. Okay? This tells me something different. And we will sit and wait for them to have the more smoking gun evidence. And of course, we got to wait till they actually run DNA on that weapon and all that, and on the walls of wherever this red is found in the basement of this house. Remember? They found red down there too. So run the DNA, run it back, right? And let's get the truth. One thing, someone just gave it to me, so thank you so much for sending this to me. I really do appreciate it. Okay? And let me explain this really quick. With the Bryans, this is the 3rd Brian in our situation. We had Brian Laundrie, we had Brian Koberger, and now we have Brian Walshe. So we've had a lot of Bryans doing very, very bad things. Okay? So, it's just disturbing, just so you guys know. But if you are going after your wife has gone missing or your spouse is gone missing and you go to a whole other Home Depot, not the one down the street from your crib, you go out on the outskirts of your own town to go buy $450 worth of stuff, including a hazmat suit, clearly you up to no good, period. Okay? Hoblone just said the 3 lives of Brian. I'm done. All right. So someone sent this to me. This is in regards to the house. Really, really quick. Fire at a house formerly owned by missing Cohasset mother Anna Walshe deemed accidental. So they're saying that this was a coincidence. That's weird to me. But let's get into this, shall we? Investigators said Saturday that a fire broke out at a home formerly belonging to missing Cohasset woman Anna Walshe. They're saying that it was accidental and purely a coincidence. Then I guess I'm wrong. But that seems weird, though. Don't you think? That seems a little weird. But the house just was so distraught by this whole thing that it just lit on fire? That doesn't make sense to me. The house was that distraught by her missing? Strange. On Friday afternoon, firefighters responded to a fire on Jerusalem Road where Walshe lived until a few months ago. The fire began in the attic. Fortunately, a couple, their nanny and a toddler, who were in the home at the time, made it out safely. Investigators said initially it was too soon to say if the fire was connected to Walshe's disappearance, though Police Chief Quigley added it was a very strange coincidence. I don't know, man, but okay. Spokesman for Massachusetts Department of Fire Services said on Saturday that investigation determined the fire started with a fireplace insert. Damage to the piping caused a fire inside the wall. Interesting. The spokesperson did agree that it was a coincidence, that it even surprised him. So in other words, the house was feeling some type of way and just went up in flames. It was so upset about Anna's missing that it just went up in flames. Very, very strange, okay? Very, very strange. She said, side-eye all Brian's. Nurse said, side-eye all Brian's. And then Lateef said, but what about Brian McKnight? Yeah, cause one, you know what I mean? You're like a dream come true. You know what I mean? Come on now, you know the song. If you don't know the song, then you have no love in your heart. Okay? Just wanna be with you. That's a great song. So, you could trust that, Brian. Okay? You could trust that, Brian. Okay? Trust that, Brian. But that's the only Brian. Don't trust no more Brians. Okay? I'm done. I am done. Okay? So, guys, that is the show. I appreciate you guys being here, being a part of the conversation. All right? Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully we get some more truth here. Obviously, if there's more information that pops off, you know for a fact we're going to be talking about it. You know for a fact you will get the information right here. So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below, okay? Hit that like button down below. Yeah, if you'd like me breaking into song, hit that like button down below. All right? That would really mean a lot. Let's get it past 600 likes, okay? That would really, really mean so much to me, okay? You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets to give you guys the conversation and the information that you need. So hit that like button. All right, all right, all right. That would really mean a lot. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. Thank you so much, guys. All right. I may be on a little bit later tonight. If not, I'll be back on tomorrow morning to give you some more goodness. Okay? Some more crazy stories as usual. All right? So, again, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Please, by all means, by the way, please go check out my store, my clothing store, pascalmerch.com or beautifulbeefcollections.com. Check it out. We got some really great sales going on. We got some new stuff dropping hopefully tomorrow that I think you guys are going to really like. So go and check that stuff out. Some dope new stuff. New stuff. New stuff. New look for the new year. It's going to be exciting. So anyway, it's time to get going. I appreciate all y'all. I'll see you soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll talk to you very, very soon. Oh, and justice for Anna. Let's be real. Justice for the mother of three. Hopefully we can find her. If we're lucky, I hope we find her alive and safe. I really do hope that. Okay? I really do. But Leo, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love doing these lives with you guys. I missed you guys this weekend. So that's why I was like, I want to try to squeeze in as many lives as I can today. Because I love y'all. All right? Without y'all, I'd be talking to a wall. You already know this. Anyway, it's time to get going. Love y'all. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.